Oh, I see it. It's on my screen now.
All right. We're live.
It
We
says
should
no,
be.
no, it says notify me. Upcoming. Oh, yeah, we're live, man.
All right. So, so welcome.
What's up, bro?
What, how's everything, man?
Good. Doing good.
I just want to switch over and just make sure everything's working. So this is the first time I'm ever going live, so I'm gonna make some mistakes. We're probably gonna stay just you and I for a while. How's that sound?
That's good, bro. You're going to
Yeah.
drag me down with you, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah, you're coming. so, so I hope anybody that joins us sees us online and jumps in.
Yeah,
So,
that's cool. You got one viewer. That would be me.
all right, so we're pretty good. We're probably gonna post this later. I'm not sure if it posts automatically or anything. I don't even know the deal on these things. So, so what have you been up to anyway?
What have I been up to? So, just, obviously not, there's nothing going on in the lawn right now. Podcast staying pretty busy. We had turfgrass epistemology on last week, which that was a really good interview. And then I've got another guest planned. We're recording on Wednesday, so I'm excited. I'm excited for that. And then just kids. Son's in the middle of high school basketball right now. We got probably 6, 8 games left in the season. Daughter just started volleyball, so we're traveling. Just it's crazy because it's kind of nice that the lawn season really slows down and gives us a chance to spend time with our friends, family, and all that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah, we
what
have
about you, man?
pretty soon. We don't have long, so we're getting ready. I have to take out all the mows and start tuning them up. I guess I'm gonna probably do some videos. Are you gonna do some videos on some tune-ups, or what are you thinking about? Anything good?
As far as tune-ups, I mean, so I did all. I like to do all of my stuff at the end of the year. So I like sharpen my mower blades, change oil. I'll probably just have to put some air in the tire because it's been sitting. But I put the battery on a battery tender, so hopefully, when I go needing that first mow, it'll jump right up and start going.
I was thinking maybe I'm gonna. I don't know. I think I should rebuild the McLean this year. I'm thinking that I have the reel. They sent it to me because I hit a rock. It's a long story, but when I first bought it, I hit a rock pretty heavy, so that I whacked it, and I called them up and told them, listen, I chipped it pretty bad, and they were nice enough. They sent me the whole brand new reel, so I've had it for a few years now. I think I might do a full rebuild series just to get it apart, show them, pull apart all the bearings and do a full rebuild. What
So,
do you
like,
think?
when you have a reel, do you have to have that thing sent off to be sharp? I know you can do what's called backlapping, but can you like do you have it sent off to be professionally
So,
sharpened? Like,
so the McLean's not like a professional one. So it's not like built right to kind of mount it, but I'm pretty sure they do it. I would have to look into that. But I backlap. I much rather backlap. It's you could back if you backlap it every couple of. It's just as good.
because I know some guys. I've heard. Now, I don't have a real mower, but I've heard some guys take them. Like some golf courses will, they have professionals that'll sharpen them for you if you got a good connection. Like if you're a country club,
I'm
whatever.
actually local to a couple golf courses, but I'm not gonna deal with them too much right now. I just want to get a build series. So I want to build it myself, and I have a reel, brand new reel in a box. It's pretty cool. So and
Yeah.
hopefully, if there's anybody on and you want to make some comments, we're here for everybody. You want to comment to either myself or Devin, we're here. We just want to jump on and see everybody. The spring's coming near, and uh, and we're getting there. Well, what are we? We're less than 70 days away, so it's snowing here. I don't know. How's your weather?
Today was 51 degrees and the sun was shining. It was beautiful. We woke up, it was like 21, 22, 23 degrees. But like later this week, we're going to get down like 16, 15, 16 degrees
Oh boy,
and
it
a
gets.
high like
I didn't.
34.
I didn't realize it got so cold there.
Yeah.
No one realizes it, right? They're all surprised when you tell them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a phenomenon here because we're so close to the mountains. We get what's called cold air damming. So basically, what happens is when a front moves through, it gets stuck and it pinches itself between the mountains and where I live, and so the cold air just tends to funnel. And I mean, nothing extreme, but it gets really cold here through that process
Oh,
of what's called cold air damming.
it snows here. It snows here sometimes a foot. You get up and you didn't know it was going to snow. You get outside and you
Mhm.
can't get to work. Yeah, I know that feeling, man. It's tough.
Yeah. So we
So
got four people in the well, three because I'm one of them. So
yeah. So if anybody's out there and want to comment, we're here. Uh, I want to. I'll show you. Let's see. We got so. Here we go. We got a nice little comment. Let's see. Ready?
Alicia, hey,
Hey,
what's going on?
one of our biggest fans, right?
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
great, man. We
yep,
appreciate you a lot. Your
yeah.
grass is dormant, not mine. Why does it's crazy. I guess the ryegrass. So every year I plant ryegrass and man, you got to see this. It's insane. It's green. Right now it's green. I was actually going to not stripe I was going to not cut it, but roll the the mower over it just to get the stripes back really solid. They're there though. I was surprised. How's your lawn doing? Does it look pretty good or is it
Yeah, I was actually I was looking at it today. I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's still got some what they like desiccated tips, like they're kind of yellow. But for overall, we've had a couple warm days in the 70s, so the grass really kind of greened up a little bit, which is nice. But it's not growing or anything, and it just kind of looks kind of meh. But you know,
Yeah, I have an interesting. So my problem last year was when I did so much fertilizer. I told you, right? I got massive fungus at the end of the year, snow mold. I'm thinking this year it's not going to be that bad. I don't see any damage already. We're halfway through, not really all the halfway through. I would say through some of the bad season, and I'm starting to see that it's not too bad. I'm hoping that I get away with it. Last year there was holes all over the place.
yeah, from snow mold. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
snow mold, I guess if anyone's out there listening to it and you get snow mold, don't panic. My whole lawn was gone. I raked it out and like a week later it came back. It was pretty easy to deal with. I thought it was a tragedy when I first seen it. You remember I sent you a picture. You remember the picture?
Out.
I was
It's
like,
freaking out. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
do you think ryegrass gets it more or you think I'm not sure. I don't know
I,
where.
I don't know. I don't know if it gets it more than any other grass type, but
You're
I
you're
don't deal with I don't deal with snow mold here. We very rarely ever have issues with it.
Yeah, so you know what I do? I mulch my leaves in. I leave them all sitting on top. I think it's kind of part of it. If you don't get the mulch big enough, small enough to get in and decay a little bit, it kind of covers the lawn and becomes a lot of mold. It's not pretty. It's
Mhm.
terrible. Yeah. So tell us you had a tell everybody about the podcast. That you had. That was really interesting.
With turfgrass epistemology.
Yeah, he was
Okay.
he was pretty cool. I really enjoyed watching him.
He was a really cool guy. It was a lot of fun. I mean, obviously, I think anytime I record a podcast, I kind of get nervous ahead of time because you just don't know how it's going to go and how you're going to gel or mesh when you're having a conversation. But we had a really good conversation. I want to get him back on. He has so much knowledge. I mean, I always try to keep the recordings to about an hour. In the first 20 minutes, we were talking about food. So I know he felt probably because he kind of hijacked the podcast there a little bit, talking about food. But no, it was great. You know, you
I
watch his videos and you see one side of him, and then you get to actually talk to him, and you get to see a different side of him, and it was really cool. I really appreciated him coming on, and it was a good podcast, I
I
think.
liked him a lot. You're getting really good at podcasts. I'm still very nervous, so if anybody's watching, this is very new to me. This is like the first time, so
So
there's going to be a lot of.
if you guys are watching this, make sure you leave a comment because I'm trying to get Rich to start his podcast. I'm trying to encourage him. So you guys want to encourage him on that too. I need all the help I can get.
Yeah, yeah.
because I think you'll
Um,
do a good job. I think you'll do a really good job with a podcast and being able to just talk. I mean, your videos now are long form anyway, so you do such a good job with that. I think a podcast you're gonna be a natural at it.
I appreciate it. Yeah. We're going to do our best. We're going to try to keep it light, right? I'd
Yeah.
like to show up every week and talk about what's going on prior to the next video would be good. It's a good way to kind of prep what we're trying to. So I want to take, I like when members come on and ask questions or want something, for the next video. That will be a big help. So we're going to go live. This would be a good way to do it,
Yep.
you know. So so we're gonna ask a couple questions, and if you guys want to comment on the bottom, you can comment. It's kind of like I said, this is the first one we're rolling with, so just be nice.
We really have no idea what we're doing, to be honest.
No,
We really
well,
don't. I mean, right?
I started this about an hour ago. I said, hey, let's try to put it together.
Yeah.
So you got to forgive us if something's wrong. So let's see. Let's start it here. Let's see. All right. All right, here you go. So now we got, how many years have you been working on your lawn? This is a pretty good question, pretty much to everybody.
Yeah. So if you're watching this, and I don't know if are you going to post this afterwards?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll probably post it, sure.
Yeah. So
Just
if yeah, even if you're watching this afterwards, leave a comment. I know Rich will reply back and
so
talk to you.
so I've been doing my lawn for, wow, 30 years. But to be honest with you, I've only been doing a nice job for the last maybe 5 or 10. It's like anything else, you know how you're into so many other things, and then all of a sudden you find time to get into working on your lawn, right?
So
And
when you were in New York, right? So would you say that moving to Ohio, like that was kind of what clicked, or like what it made you start wanting to take care of your lawn all of a sudden?
well, I guess when you get a house, when you first get a house and you start to realize how expensive everything is, and you want like the best of everything, right? You want the best of what you could afford, and you try to make it look nice. So I started. So I started doing it. Probably, I think mowing is where you start doing it, right? The relaxation of being out on the lawn and being kind of away from everything. And then after that, I started getting more into the chemicals, and not really chemicals, but the
I understand.
fertilizers and stuff,
Hmm.
and kind of doing that. So, we talked about that. You were talking about that the other night. It's pretty cool. It's a different level of expectations, I think. It's not about being better or worse. It's just a different level of expectations that we want.
And going back to the interview, the video that he was pretty critical of was because I had said that the products that I was using, I called them essential, and that I think that's where lawn care is so cool because you can take this thing as immaculate as you want. If you want to have that pristine golf course lawn and that's what you're going for, then you can do it. Or if you're okay with, less than that, or wherever you meet yourself in your lawn, and that's what makes this so cool. And really, you can turn it on pretty quickly. I mean, you can go from a lawn that's kind of okay to really good, really, really fast in a season or two. And then if say you have a kid, or work gets really busy and you got to kind of back off a little bit and you just don't have as much time to devote towards your lawn, well, then you can dial it back a little bit too. And then whenever you're ready to turn that faucet back on, you can flip it over pretty quickly.
You know what resonated pretty big with me is when he was talking about water. That's such a big factor. Remember not to, but I'm now talking to people that are doing some water metering and things to watch the water in the actual soil. It was like I was almost jumping out of my seat. I'm like, yeah, this is a big thing, and
Hmm.
he gets it. And the thing is that that it's hard, it's critical, it's something that if we keep throwing down chemicals, they'll just take them away sooner or later. We can't abuse it.
And he never said that. I mean, he kind of hinted towards that because he is on lobbyist groups and things, especially with, whatever state jurisdiction that he's in. But yeah, I mean, if you have homeowners that are going to be reckless with chemicals and not doing things the right way, the government's going to crack down. I mean, and say that you can't
Yeah.
apply these things. They're going to make them not, you're not going to be able to get them and purchase them. They'll take it away from us. So I think that's why I was saying during the podcast, that you and I, because we're lawn care YouTubers, I mean, we have a responsibility to try to make sure that people are doing things not only what's safe for you as an individual, but doing the right thing for your environment, doing the right thing and the best thing for your lawn as well. And I think that's really what he was saying. You have the image of this guy who says he's a DIYer and he's got a table slapped full of chemicals, and that's just a really bad look, you know.
It made sense.
So
It really did make sense. And to be honest with you, I was like really critical of him, and I want to listen to what he has to say now.
yeah,
Made me want to listen to him, so it's pretty
yeah,
cool. So everybody, anybody goes to your site, you're doing like really good podcasts, man. I just wanted to tell you, I really enjoying them.
thanks.
So I look forward to them, and hopefully we could do lives too in between and just mess them up, and everybody could get on. This is more like I'm not going to worry about making a mistake here. This is where I really want people just commenting, getting on, asking questions. Possibly we'll have some guests. We'll have a couple people live at once and make a lot more mistakes, and you get to see what we're really like.
That's right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, you've been doing a fantastic job. I, I'm pretty impressed. So, so what kind of grass type works the best? This is what I always deal with. So I'm like in between grass types. I'm in between rye. You know me. I always love rye in the winter. And if anybody's interested, the reason why I use rye in the winter is because I have a cold season, a very long cold season. And there's nothing better than coming down the block and seeing a certain house that has just green grass. The rye really lasts throughout the winter. It's extraordinary. And now I kind of jumped to the dark side with you. I'm going
That's
fescue.
you.
The backyard's going to be fescue, so I'm going to be looking at your videos. You got to teach me, see, because there's a little secret. We're not very good at what we do. What I do. Speaking for myself. I'm not very good at what I do. I just consistently do it until I get it right. So that's just the same thing as all the homeowners, right? We're all the same. We're in the same group. We're DIYs that want to just have great lawn.
Yep.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think when you ask the question like what works best, and he talked about this too, and having the right grass type for your area makes a huge makes a huge difference. Trying to grow. I mean, I live in the transition zone, so I got to have Bermuda. I could have warm season or cool season, really. But you know,
Do you feel, not to interrupt you, but do you feel that the warm season grasses look too coarse? Like it just looks too rough for me, unless you really cut it short and really maintain it well, which there are people out there doing a really nice job on it. But for me, I've always had like, I don't know, I think the softer looking grass and the tighter cut, for me personally, that doesn't mean, what
I
do you
don't know,
think?
man. I've seen some really high end Bermuda that, man, about June or July, I'm like looking at mine. It's not looking great, and I'm like, I'm gonna put down some high end Bermuda or something because it's when it's mowed tight, it is gorgeous.
You got to get into real
Unreal.
cutting soon. Someday you're going to get into it. You're going to pass on to the dark side with me, to the real cutting. What do you think? It
I
looks
would
like
have
you're
to have
ready.
I would have to have a smaller lawn. Can you real mow 20,000 square feet?
With the right Toro. I, I'll,
Right.
you'll have to talk to your wife about that one. It's probably, how expensive are those things? They got to be something. They got to be a reel cutter like that.
Like one of those fairway mowers,
Oh
with
my
the
God.
big
Oh,
4 or 5 reels on them.
and the maintenance must be ridiculous. I don't care what anybody says. The
Mhm.
money to keep them things sharp the way they should be.
Yeah.
But he did say that. You remember when he was saying that one of the things is really sharp? I was like, all right, one for me. I was looking at your eyes when he was telling you, one for me. But you keep a sharp. If you keep a sharp blade on your
Rotary.
mower, it's the same
Yeah,
thing, right?
yeah.
That's,
I sharpen mine about once a month, just because I like to keep them as sharp as humanly possible. I think it helps. I think it helps keep off disease. I think it helps the health of the turf. And it's no big deal for me to sharpen them once a month. I enjoy doing it, so
right.
it's
Yeah.
not a big deal.
Yeah, it's not too bad, I guess. That's a big mower, though. What do you do? Jack it up? You
I
have to
do,
lift
yeah.
it a certain way, or
Yeah.
it's not? Yeah, it's not hard to get that thing up.
Nope.
What do you like a car lift or something?
I have a car jack, so of course, put center blocks behind the tires, and then I jack it up, and then I use the jack stands underneath, just so that if God forbid, something were to happen while I'm laying underneath the mower, at least those jack stands will catch it, keep
Yeah,
it safe.
yeah.
But
I guess it's safer than a real mower. All you have to do is push on the reel with your hand anywhere near it. You could cut yourself real bad.
yeah, yeah.
Well, let's see. So let's see what we got here. When should you apply pre-emergent? When do you apply? Do you apply?
I do. I typically do a split application. And the reason for that is because here our temperatures like do this up and down yo-yo thing.
Right.
I mean, we could have a February stretch where a week or so could be 70. March we could have in the 50s. And as you know, when it comes to pre-emergent, soil temperature is what we're watching, right?
Yeah.
So
Think 55. Is that
yeah, 50,
that's where
55
it's at?
degrees. Yeah. So, and if the lawn is doing this, the temperatures are doing this yo-yo thing, we want to make sure we have a pre-emergent in the soil before 55. So for me, I have to do a split application. So to make sure that I'm covered.
I
And
think I'm
then,
going to do that this year. You had a good application with that. That really worked last year.
yes, I have no weeds. Like I haven't had a problem with weeds, and I'd always apply. Usually, maybe the last week in February, first week in March, and then again probably early April, somewhere around in there. And then that'll carry me all the way through summer, and I don't have any weed. I have zero problem with
Do you
weeds.
think some of that's due to the fact that the longer grass, or do you think? Because to be honest with you, I'm pulling weeds all day long. I have to. The lawn's so short. If you get a weed, you see it like immediately.
I think weed control on as a whole isn't just one thing. It's not. I don't have a problem. I don't not have a problem with weeds because I put a pre-emergent down. It has to do with the how long my turf is, how often I water. The more you water, the more propensity you have to get weeds. So it's not just a single prong approach to controlling weeds. It's having sharp mower blades helps reduce weeds because it reduces the stress on the turf and stops it from thinning, and not leaving big grass clumps on your lawn. All those things like that, in addition to a pre-emergent, help reduce weeds.
I seem to do pretty well with like when I was using humic and like getting the roots going. It seemed like the root base would get tighter. I'm not sure if it worked. I think last year it did a pretty good job, but I think when I was putting down all the natural and just keep going with the microdosing, I started to see a tighter knit grass. That's where you start to get out a lot of the weeds. But then with the ryegrass, if you get it like a little small cut in it or something happens, you have to reseed. So now I find myself walking around the yard with a plunger. I plug out a hole, then I put in soil mixed with seed with a little bit of bluegrass, and because there's bluegrass in the front with rye, and I put it in, and the rye pops in like 7 days, and you're all healed up and good to go again. So I guess there's two ways to deal with it. But the way I've been dealing with it lately is not many chemicals. I remember when I first started, I used to go to any store and buy that one and spray it all over the lawn.
Hmm.
You'd smell everything would smell like a chemical, and then everything would die, and it would die. It would kill the weeds, but I felt like I was killing everything else with it.
Do you ever have a problem with, like, I guess the weed that I have the most problem with would be clover. I get some white clover in certain spots, and I don't know if it's just because where the maybe a low spot in the turf, and I just get clover there about the same time. Do you ever is there one weed in particular that you struggle with?
I have clover in the front, but I leave it as long as it's low. I leave it for the the nitrogen. As long as you can't see it, I let it go. So I cut my lawn so low, the clover never seems to affect me. It's just there for like a day or so until I cut the next day, and then it stays kind of at bay. So clover will lay down pretty low. It doesn't get crazy unless you have a longer grass that'll come up in. So I think I'm lucky that way because even with the clover a little bit, it kind of blends in as like a micro clover. It looks more where I have it, so it doesn't look like this big, huge flowering clover like some breeds. But
Mhm.
I've gotten lucky because it's in the lawn, but it's a little bit light everywhere, kind of light where you can't see it. It's laying under the regular blades, which
Yeah.
is good. Yeah. So
But
yeah.
when should I apply pre-emergent? Like I said, I mean, I highly recommend applying pre-emergent. And not, like I said, I do a split application, late February, early March, and then again in April, and take care of your weeds. So,
So I did the corn gluten. It wasn't that good. So this is a fact. So trying to stay natural, okay. You try to stay as natural as possible, but to be honest with you, pre-emergent, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might have to go if anybody knows any stronger pre-emergents that are kind of on the natural side. I'd love to hear it, but the
well,
corn doesn't do
what
it.
I mean, I feel like I could probably get away with not applying a pre-emergent this year if I wanted to, because I have such a thick turf. I mow correctly. I mean, really, the reason why we're putting down that pre-emergent is to stop crabgrass. Really, that's the big weed that we're trying to stop. And I mean, my grass is so thick and healthy and lush. I mean, there ain't no way a crabgrass plant's going to make it. And even if it does, I'm going to see it and I'm going to pull it before it ever even becomes a
Well,
a
that's
problem.
what I like to do. Walk the lawn every once in a
Yeah,
while and just pull the little weeds. A weed that's this big could become a disaster a
correct.
month later. I don't know why people don't just do that as a normal regiment. You could use half the applications just to walk the lawn.
I love on a Saturday morning, I grab my little Lowe's bucket, and I put I literally do this on a Saturday morning. I grab a Lowe's bucket, I put headphones in, and I follow the mower stripes up and down and just looking for weeds, looking for stuff. And it's so relaxing and soothing. And, the sun's just coming up and it's just, I love it. And I can hear the crunch of the grass and
Yeah.
just looking for weeds. And if you see it, you pull it. And
I
I
do that
just,
in the morning. If I do that like a day after a cut, the weed grows a little higher than the lawn,
you
and
can
you
see
can
it.
see it from a mile away.
Mhm. Yep.
So it's pretty cool. Yeah, I do the same thing.
Sometimes when the sun's first coming up, there's that dew on the ground, and you'll see because the leaf tissue of a weed is different, and so like you said, it'll stick out like a sore thumb, and you can see it and pull it, and you don't have to spray anything. You don't have to wait on it to
No,
die or any. I mean,
no, it works. It works really
yeah,
well.
you're
Yeah.
depressing me, man,
Why?
because it's
Why?
January, and I
Get
I
out
want to be
there.
out doing this
Just
stuff. I don't
ride
want to be.
ride your mower around. There's no snow. Just
I
put a
know.
brush on it. Make some stripes. I was thinking
Hmm.
about that. Do some stripes. Do some brush in the lawn. Get it nice.
I'm
I'm
telling you,
sure it, I'm
so
sure it's green.
that lawn sweeper that I bought,
I
that
know.
is the ticket.
I got I got to get one. That looks
Oh
awesome.
man. And it leaves stripes, which is freaking awesome. But it, man, if it don't, I mean, it picks up pine cones and little sticks, pine needles, leaves. I love it.
Nice,
I love
nice.
that thing.
Yeah. I know I was watching you. I was like, man, I don't want to copy everything he gets, but man, right? You probably say the same thing. I was like, I want to do that. I want to test that thing out.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
it was
It
pretty
is.
cool.
I will say, it's very finicky when it comes to getting the right height because there's kind of a point where it's like if your grass is lower in some spots and higher in others, when it gets into those high spots, it gets really hard to push. And then when you get into maybe a low area or something with the grass a little bit shorter, it doesn't pick up quite as well.
But can
But
it pick up those big? So I have this thing called like a white walnut. I don't know what it is. It looks like an acorn. It's about ginormous. It's 5 times the size of an acorn. Do you think it would pick up any of that?
I think it would. Yes.
Really?
I've got a neighbor, and I don't know what you call them. We call them gumballs, but they're like little spiked.
Oh
I don't know
yeah.
what kind of
What
tree.
as kids we used to throw at each other?
Oh
Those
yeah, and
things?
they hurt
Oh
like
yeah.
hell. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So my neighbor's got a gumball tree, and I don't know what tree produces these stupid gumballs, but I see her out there every year picking up these gumballs. I'm gonna run my sweeper over there and see if it'll pick them up. If it does, that'll save
That's
her so much
that's
time.
that's a game changer, yeah.
Hmm.
Let's go. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Now I'm going to ask you. Guess what? Guess what's going to start soon? What do you think? Is that true in your area as much as it is in mine? Because I'm just going to act like it is. So if it's snowing or not, I'm going to be out there mowing. What do you think? Do you think this is wrong? 67 days until spring officially begins. No, you don't believe it.
Well,
I guess.
I mean, just because again, okay, so that's by the calendar, right? I mean,
Well, it's in the northern hemisphere, so.
yeah, but spring is officially starting in 67 days, but the weather determines everything, right? So just because
All
it's
right, so we're averaging.
yeah.
So are you ready?
So
Are
what's
you
that?
can
2 months away?
Yeah.
I'll be mowing before that. I'll be mowing in a month and a half,
Oh,
probably.
I
Yeah.
hate you. I
Yeah.
hate you. I hate you. It's going to be snowing.
Yeah.
It's going to be snowing here. I'm
You got
guaranteed.
snow in April last year, I think, because you sent me some pictures of snow in April, and it was it was 70 here, and but it was one of those snows where it would snow that morning, and then by the afternoon,
Well, I
you
did
wouldn't
a
even know it.
video. It snowed and I mowed. It
Yes,
snowed and I mowed. I had to
yes.
mow. It grows under the snow, and then it does one snow and every year. It does the same thing. Well, I'm gonna be moving towards you sooner or later. I think that's just in the cards. It's gonna have to happen.
I think you
There's
should.
no way I could do this, man.
I
This will be
think
a
you
lot.
should do it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Been busy, so
All right, so Rich, looks like we've got 4 people that are watching, which is awesome. So let us know, that you're here. If you've got a question, of course, you could ask Rich or I. If you don't know who I am, obviously you're on Rich's channel, but my name is Devin, the DIY lawn coach, and Rich and I jumped on and just trying to, burn the house down, I guess.
yeah. Well, we got to try out some software and see if we like this format. So you guys jump on. Just tell me that you're here. Just give us a shout out. All right. Nope.
It takes them a little bit. It takes them a little bit. Of course,
So
it's 7 o'clock here. I mean, it's people probably just getting supper done and gonna
so
sit down and
so what do you think? You think we should plan something like this every other week or every week or something? Maybe we
I'd
can
like to
get
do it.
together.
I'd like to do it. Yeah.
I'd love to do it. We'll have a
Yeah.
topic. We'll think of a topic. We'll post possibly on your. Could we do it on? We'll do it on your site next. We'll do it on your stream. We'll
Yep.
post on my stream and on my side and say it's over there, and we'll do it vice versa or something. Maybe it's
Yeah.
up to you.
Yeah.
How do you feel about
I
that?
think I think whatever we decide to do, we just got to be consistent about it. Because I can tell you, as someone who several years ago did not have a YouTube channel and loved to watch other people do exactly what you and I are doing right now. I liked to plan and say, hey, these guys are going to be live on Wednesday at 8 o'clock, and be able to plan on being there. So I think that whatever we do, I think we got to come up with maybe a schedule and stick to it. And because I know people want to watch, and it's not the same when you go back and rewatch a live. It's just, to me, it's just not the same. There's nothing better than actually being part of the conversation. So
Right. So anybody could comment in at any time, and if something comes to mind, at least it could be answered right away, or, you know, we could come up with some kind of topics. We could even go off topic. You know, we both have pretty interesting things we do, and we can go a little bit off topic. So if anybody's out there and wants to bring up some topics to us, feel free to just put them in the comments, and we'll talk about it.
yep, absolutely.
All right. I think over time we're gonna have more and more joining us, and I think it'll get the conversations will be good. So just keep an eye out. It'll definitely be on this website, on my YouTube, where it is. If it's going to be over on your side or my side, we'll make sure that it's posted. Let's see. Is if you put let me post this up.
Look at you being all fancy.
Look at this. So if you put down pre-emergent, but a soil temperature is below 50, is it okay? So that's what we were talking about before, right? We were trying, sometimes you put down a split application, and the split application is kind of like saying, I'm going to take a chance and put a little bit down early. And then and then later on, when the temperatures rise a little bit, I'll put it down again. So that way you don't miss the window. Is that right?
Yeah, early is better than late, right? Because I mean, do you know when the soil temperature is going to go to 55? No, you don't. So you get it down early. 50 is okay. Look, you can spray as long as the ground's not frozen. You can apply your pre-emergent. It's not gonna hurt anything at all. So get it down early. That way you're protected. And 55 is a generalized number, but if you're below 50, absolutely throw her down, and then
Let it
maybe a month
ride.
and a half later apply again.
Just let it ride.
Yeah,
It's not going to hurt
yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
If it's down a little bit early and it washes out a little bit, that's why you put it down 2 times, because most likely that's what most people are worried about, right? It washing out or not being effective. So you put down a light coat, then as it warms up, you put down another light coat, and you should be covered.
So the one thing you have to be concerned about when it comes to pre-emergence is the yearly maximum. So you just read the label. It'll tell you, hey, you can only put down this much of this chemical in a calendar year. So just make sure you watch that. But other than that, you should be just fine. Early is always better. That's a great question, by the way.
Yeah, thanks. And yeah, so all right, what's your plans soon? And then
For me,
yeah.
well, I don't know if you pay attention, but I mean, I did a generator video. I'm just
I
doing some
love it.
different
No, that's
stuff,
great.
man.
You know what? You sparked interest in me.
Yeah.
I'm like looking downstairs in the basement the other day, like, what could I do here? And we're deciding, well, maybe you need some backup power. I got rid of my gas generator, so now I thought that was a good video. That's something people could use. That you need that. You need to prepare for that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah, and then I did where you clean out your hot water heater, your tankless hot water heater, how to flush that out. So just doing some different stuff, man. I mean, it's just piddling. I mean, I mean,
Yeah,
just
that's me
fiddling
too.
around. Um,
I'm just dying to get on. So maybe during this season, this will become big too, because we could bring up topics that are good at that time, at that point. Maybe
mhm.
we could review our videos, even bring them up and talk about what we seen during it, what we might have missed. It's pretty interesting, and
Yeah.
we could have people comment on it and give us a hand. So this is like a group effort, you know. We're trying to get everybody involved, and I think it's really important.
Yep.
At the end of the day, that's all it's about, is just having fun.
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna wrap it up, and I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that came, and we're gonna be here once a week. Be firing up at the same time. Watch the website. You can watch mine. Or Devin's gonna have something on his if he's interested, but I'll be directing you either over to his or over to mine. There'll be a link. There'll always be something in the comments, so you know where we're at. And thanks a lot.
Yep. See you guys.
All right, so long, guys.